It's mine.
What is?
Heaven.
Why? Why can't it be mine?
It says so.
Well, I guess I can't argue with that. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
We're playing Heaven Will Be Mine. Finally.
I am stoked. I am so excited.
Me too. I thought there... Okay, so I don't want to seem like an idiot, but I just looked for subtitle options in a visual novel.
Well, it was worth a shot. I guess we'll have to do it without.
This does not bode well. Hey, we've been hyped for this game, and it finally came out, and we're going to play it now, and it's going to be awesome.
I am logged on. I am jacked in. I am getting in the goddamn robot. My homo goggles are turned to 11. I'm ready.
Do you have your plug suit on?
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh,
select your pilot. All right.
Holy shit. Smash Ultimate is really cool.
Wow, they weren't kidding. Everyone is here.
Everyone's here.
Okay, let's learn. Okay, so this is Pluto, Cradle Grace's ultimate weapon pilot. Even if Earth has given up on a new life for humanity in space, Cradle Grace's hasn't. And Pluto will make that dream come true. Likes, succulents, good girls, crushing. Both kinds, everyone.
Yes, I
Dislikes.
like that.
Is trying very hard not to have any. Let's learn about Saturn. Faction, Celestial Mechanics, self-ship string of pearls. Celestial Mechanics reserve test pilot Celestial Mechanics wants to advance humanity to its next stage. Saturn wants to flirt, but there's no reason we can't do both. Combat style, button mashing. Bedroom style, button mashing. Luna Terra. Faction, Memorial Foundation self-ship Mare Crisium. Memorial Foundation ace pilot. Fighting for the pilots to join the rest of humanity back on Earth before it's too late. Good at sniping, espionage, double-crossing, ghosting. Bad at loving herself, everything else. Let's go Pluto.
Yes, let's go Pluto.
Let's fucking go Pluto.
I already like Pluto a lot. Likes, crushing both kinds. That's what I'm into.
Press enter or click. Oh shit, do we need a keyboard for this?
Or click to begin.
Hey!
Oh.
Oh shit. What? To Pluto, unfixed random point with intangible... What?
The solar system maps the human body. The solar system maps culture. In the center is the sun, which is synthesis. When the physical bodies of the solar system become our home, our ship through the universe, our body, their names will be given again. From the name of a rock, such as Hades, to the name of a part of us and ourselves, such as Pluto. You are the sun. Through you, humans will possess their true body. As you were once born, through us, we too wish...
Base override system interrupt.
This is a confusing operating system. I don't know many that run on weird occult scriptures about the planets, but I would like to install this Linux distro, so please hit me up.
What about Copeland? Pluto. Do you want to be Pluto? You can be
Sure.
Pluto.
Hi, Doctor.
I lost you for a moment there. You okay?
I'm fine, Doctor.
This is the first interface of its kind. If there's anything unusual about it, that will be hard to tell.
That's reassuring.
Because by definition, it is very unusual.
That's okay, so am I.
Usually you can't fit the entire thing all the way up in there.
Haha. I'll let you know if it feels especially unusual, Nix.
Good. Let me know if something categorically impossible happens.
Like what?
I don't know, S-Con. If your sync got so deep that your thoughts were being dumped into the OS code directly, for example.
This is my fetish. If that happens, I'll let you know.
Are you ready to begin?
I've been ready for a long time.
Begin activation test.
All right.
Macula firmware loading. Dual title reactor syncing. Welcome to Cradle's Grace's bootloader 0Y0YC1V5.666.9123 OY can't I? Oh! I get it. OY can't I?
Bootlegging gravitational reactor. Yes.
Nice.
It's bootlegged.
Hyperdensity established. Done. Beginning resonance test. Brings out a tuning fork.
Ding.
Bong. Should feel lightheadedness and weight.
That's okay. I always feel like that.
Oh. Wait until you're comfortable before diving in. Correct action. Correct thought. Correct belief. Actually, I think this is you, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's neither of the characters, but I will do it. Correct action, correct thought, correct belief, existing without fault, existing without ever harming the universe, to be the execution of what is right and good. The power over distance is also the power to harm, harm by thinking, harm by breathing, harm by loving, harm by touching, harm by culture, harm by boundaries, harm by idealism, harm by depression, harm by infinity. Let us talk of harm by infinity. If the ninth planet in the solar system is not a planet, it is because it represents the point at which humans cross over into that which they are not, a phenomenon that is itself existentially threatening, regardless of how or if that phenomenon manifests. That is the sea of possibility itself. All hopes and fears will...
Pluto? How's the response?
I'm doing great, nothing weird. Like a computer, I accept it. All data, I accept it. All wishes, I accept them. I'm an infinite engine. I'm a star. I know exactly how. Execute and accept. System accepting and executing. Reactor cores, perfect resonance. No margin of error. Nix, you can hear me, right?
Loud and clear, Pluto.
Is it working? You're not saying anything.
It's working perfectly. Flawless. On the first try. You really are the one who brings impossible things.
You're thinking too hard about it, Doctor. I can't do things like that.
Be a little more generous to yourself. But it's also your right not to be.
Pilot core link. Done.
Do you-
Da-na-na-na.
Item get. Do you feel centered?
Yes.
Do you feel the phantom presence of the ship's limbs? This is normal.
Yes.
Do you feel the presence of other bodies or other people nearby? This is normal.
Yes.
Do you feel as if other nearby people or bodies may also be your own body? This is not normal.
How would I know the difference?
Fair. Do you feel like a god yet?
Not really.
There's no need to be modest. Prep for launch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah! I'm jacked in spacesuit style.
Oh.
Nice.
Do we have plants in our spaceship? Or are we in the spaceship? I don't know.
I don't know.
Plants.
We got plants though. I like it.
It hasn't been that long since we all started fighting, but everything really did go just how I imagined it. Even holding the controls of the machine everyone's so scared of, just like this, doesn't feel like butterflies or dread. It just feels like the only thing that could have happened. You know how hard they worked because they were so scared you wouldn't be finished before the end? I never doubted it. I'm not so special that they couldn't make something scary enough for me to be its pilot.
Humans are culture, and culture is gravity. A ship self is a skin, but a ship self is also a heart. The plastic and metal chassis, insulated against hard vacuum, is necessary not to die. The tidal reactor, which generates the gravity and culture necessary to keep humans solid and real so far from Earth, is necessary to live. Talk about this design for a second,
Yeah,
because
it's
I am
awesome.
all fucking about it. The dual tidal reactor resonance system installed in the Krun macula, then, might be capable of a sort of birth. The Krun macula was completed on the first inert pseudo-planet Hades, on the boundary between the solar system ruled by human gravity and that which isn't. When the system is activated, cosmic dust emanating from between the ship's self's palms is crushed in the friction of the competing forces of the Krun macula's dual tidal reactors, and ignites in the birth of a tiny star.
That's badass.
So when does spiral energy come into it?
That's probably culture.
My bad. It's a start, an anchor of gravity and culture, for humans to begin colonizing the stars. The seed of possibility, and, just as easily, the seed of the inversion of possibility. Stars go supernova and become black holes. Where the information of life, culture, is deleted. But they aren't afraid of Krun macula as much as they are afraid of Pluto. Her own tidal forces destroyed the first 17 prototypes. It's the girl with the love to be the mother of stars they're afraid of.
Don't build me up like that. I'm not that special. But I am that scary. I'm used to it.
Well then.
The only thing I just can't get over is just how unfair it all feels. Knowing how bad this could get, how wrong it could go, and it's still happening anyway.
The Krun macula is bigger than other ship selves in terms of its objective gravitational impression on its space-time.
Yeah, I am feeling everything at once. But I'm feeling big too. Feeling so big. Feeling extremely wide. It's like I'm in Hidamari's sketch.
Jesus.
Ah, I can feel it, far and away. The sword of the real, Mare Crisium, come to cut our dreams down. And the toxin of the inverse, string of pearls, come to turn the earth inside out. They're incredible girls, I can tell, but now Cradle's Graces has the power to fight back and keep space our home forever. I know I'm meant to do this. I've been trained my whole life to be the 1 in a million who can pilot this. I know I want to do this. Space is the only place where everyone can be happy, even if almost no one believes it. I want to keep it safe. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. Now I just have to do it. That's nothing compared to what it took to learn how. My body, my mind, my soul, they're all in order. I just have to do it.
It's January 1, 1980, and the long and cold war where humanity united against its nemesis, an existential threat from beyond the stars, has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we've been fighting a war against an existential threat that we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and is powerless against the technology of Earth. That is a pretty stupid sort of war to fight, isn't it? Where there's enough of a mess down here to worry about. Humanity is already the undisputed authority of reality, and we have the physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe. Before Earth takes us back in pieces, let us go home with grace. On the first anniversary of the decommissioning of the International Space Program, we, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety, in agreement with our home planet's unanimous decision, declare there is no future for humanity in space. Let's come home. Return Resolution Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. Let's come home and all play football. It's January 1, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared independence from Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over, and it feels so light without their gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers, and schools hold out against the full authority of Earth? Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity. To power the ship selves we've made to fight the Cold War, we made tidal resonators to bring the gravity necessary for humans and culture to survive in space. And that gravity is ours now, enough to make a new world free from the weight of Earth. If Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come and take it from us. We're thankful for our Cradle's Graces, but we're not coming back. Independence Declaration, Cradle's Graces.
Hell yeah.
It's January 25th, 1981. Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces have been having fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking the stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have good reason to believe that the existential threat posed by a divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretically malevolent entity outside the native sphere. Excuse me. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat. And when they do, they'll send real weapons and end this war fought with plastic toys. Their justification? We are technically less than 100% human, just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring our final piece, the prototype ship self string of pearls we made in the atmosphere of the planet Cronus, which will never be Saturn, to the lunar gravity well, where Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces are already headed. Whoever controls that place controls human access to space. We can be sure everything will be in place there. Earth or space, we are just short of 100% human. So let's see how much less than 100% we can get.
Nice.
Internal report, Celestial Mechanics.
So we know our factions now.
Excellent.
Okay, this is neat. We got some world building. We got some giant robots.
Dawn of the first day.
Oh. Cool.
Okay, hold on one second.
This is gorgeous. I love this.
I mean, it's gorgeous, but also, holy shit, I have a ton of options all at once right now, so let me just take a second here. Saturn Return. In the strange gravity of the abandoned Daphnis lab, Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. But what are they after, and will they get it? Retrograde in retrograde. Chasing the string of pearls, Lunaterra and Pluto find each other instead. It's been almost a year since they last saw each other, and Lunaterra has never seen Pluto like this. Are you ready to spin backwards? Let's check our mail.
When it comes, I want a whale. Mail.
Who is this? Origin, ambient, title information, author, a love story. I don't know who I'm sending this to, but I think about you all the time, in the back of my mind. I know a lot about you. Does that mean you know about me too? Or are you just glowing brightly in a way that I don't understand? Is anyone else seeing this? Do you get messages like this all the time? Are you aware of how much you loom in the heart of someone you haven't met? What am I expecting? I don't even know. This is really awkward. Sorry for doing this. It must be really hard.
Sorry to do it
to you. No, I can't really know that. This is delusional of me. I'm gonna make it stop, because if I don't, I'm gonna come to hate you, because I'm already so frustrated I'm nothing like you. I need to understand why I tear myself apart thinking of you, and I'm not gonna send this. I don't know how to send this, and I hope you never read it. Subject, unacceptable. Origin, Cradles Grace's Formation Archives. Author, Executive Director, Dr. Nix. The funding is being cut again. They aren't getting the results they want. They think it's indulgent. They don't care about how the kids feel. It warms their hearts to see them grow unimpeded by the gravity of Earth, but it also disturbs them. They love our beautiful, free, glittering children, but when we talk about bringing Earth's children here, they look away. The children of space are not bound by the same laws of gravity and do as they like with their bodies and souls. You've insisted that they can endure the gravitational forces of Earth, but if you consider that their tidal forces do not wish to accommodate them, they will never be smoothed back again or broken. At the very least, they will never stop trying to destroy them. We've created magnificent, delicate creatures, and Earth wants them back for what? To crush them again under their own tidal forces? Okay, so now we found the Belters. Got it. Comms.
Oh.
Whoa.
Chat time.
I still can't believe it. I felt that from here. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'll be Mars.
Yeah? What was it like?
It was incredible. For a moment, I felt like I was right next to you. It was even stronger than all the times that you tested the prototypes. Stronger than the one time they let you fight before.
It's amazing. I've been training so long. I never knew how different it would feel to have my own, perfectly suited, just for me, ship self. I'm gonna be extra mad at all of you for how long you left me behind.
Is it really safe, though?
Hell nah. It's terribly dangerous. Mars. Don't start. I'll get mad.
It's just more powerful than anything that's ever been developed. I don't like that Dr. Nix is making you do something untested all by yourself. No one person should have to do all the things that your unit is expected to do.
But I'm strong enough to do it, right? Powerful enough to stop Earth from taking us back? Strong enough to stop celestial mechanics from bringing the existential threat back? I can do it, right?
I mean, of course you can. No one else could, but that doesn't mean you should do it alone.
I'm not alone. I've got you. And everyone else. We're all together. That's what we wanted, isn't it? I'm not locked up in a lab anymore. Aren't you happy for me?
I'm happy for you.
Are you really, really happy for me?
I'm super happy for you. I really am.
Are you scared of me now?
No way, never. You're not something to be afraid of.
Well, shit. I guess I need a bigger robot. Aw, but that's wrong. You should be scared. I'm incredible.
Channel closed.
Oh, Mars is scared now.
No. Data log.
Oh.
Okay.
So that's how far we've got so far, and the stuff we
Good
get.
to know. Alignment. Oh, we do get an alignment
Neat.
chart. Okay. So, let's just get it all over one more time. Cradles Graces
Are belters.
don't want to come back.
Mhm.
They're like, great, thank you, Earth, but now we're good on our own. Memorial Foundation thinks humanity should just be Earth and only Earth.
Yes.
And Celestial Mechanics is, fuck it, how post can we make post-human?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Okay, and that's just... Alright, mission select.
Mission select.
Awesome. Alright, so Saturn return. And in the strange gravity of the abandoned Daphnis lab, Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. But what are they after, and will they get... Oh, we already read these. Which one do you want to do?
I think I might be ready to spin backwards.
Retrograde and retrograde?
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to meet Lunaterra, I think. Mars, are you okay? You look like someone punched you in the face. What happened?
No, it's just my anime character thing. It helps differentiate me from all the other people.
Well, it's a funny story. Someone punched me right in the face. Oh, that was the line? Damn it.
Vivian was looking at me directly in the face when she said that. just so y'all know that. Someone punched me in the face.
It's been so long since you got in a fight with the flight crew. It feels a little nostalgic.
I'm fine, by the way.
People who start fights don't get sympathy.
They started it when they wouldn't let me fly.
And who threw the first punch?
That part doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't let me go, then you'll have to fight that traitor all by your shit.
Oh. Why didn't I feel it earlier? Of course she's here.
It wasn't that I wasn't going to tell you. Memorial Foundation also knows about the prototype, and they sent their ace to get it.
No, I understand. You were so excited, you just had to run out and see her, huh?
You got that right. Run out and punch that traitor Lunaterra in the face as hard as I can.
Aww.
She's the worst. After pretending that she was going to fight for the colonies, even after Earth abandoned us and demanded we come home, she double-crossed us. We're going to do this together. Missed punching that insufferably smug face for a year. It's finally time to show her that we're not going to forgive her for betraying us at the worst moment, leaving us alone, barely able to keep fighting as Cradle's Graces. But it's not like we ever needed her, and...
Slaps roof of giant robot. This bad boy can hold so much gay sexual tension. I know. I miss her too.
Are you not listening to me?
I've been listening to the two of you say the same things about each other for a really long time, and it doesn't sound any different.
It is nothing like it was before. I'm not playing games.
When we were in the academy, you were always chasing after her. Also, that's a good face. Protect that face.
That is a very good Mars face. This happening right here.
Yeah. You'd swing the first punch, and she'd laugh, and you two would fight, and then you'd make out, and then you'd do it all over again. I miss that so much. But if you go after her, it'll happen just like that, all over again.
Question. Can you make out in giant space mechas?
Yes. That is the most important feature of the giant robot.
Good to know.
I am an expert in these things.
Stop talking about me like I'm that predictable. It's different now.
There's a lot of clanking, and gravity is a problem, but you can do it. Orders are orders for a reason, you know.
I'm still not okay with it. They're making you use that terrifying machine. It's way too dangerous.
I'm sorry. I really am. But Mars, if it makes you feel any better...
What? You're breaking up.
I can't wait to fight her. I love her, understand her, and forgive her. But I'm still mad. How come you both got to have all the fun? Who wants to stay home while you two get to fight and make out?
Three-way make-out?
You don't know how scary this machine is, Mars. And it's so much less scary than me. I don't want you to see me like that. But I really, really want Lunaterra to see.
Pluto, you cut out for a second there. What did you say?
I said, tough luck. It's my chance to shine now. Destroy.
What's her name?
Ontan?
Ontan face. Destroy. Like... I think this makes more sense if you read it, because it's a Pluto story.
Okay. Like waking up underwater to the wet burn of your lungs' desperation for air. Like floating untethered in space, unable to move under your own power. Losing the security of gravity is like being naked in space. Gravity is necessary for human life in space. Gravity is necessary for unrestricted movement in space. Can't have one without the other. The force that binds your existence together. The force to shape foreign bodies. Pure agency. Gravity is necessary not just to live in space, but to be human in space. But being human is a little harder for Pluto, so she has to work for it. The tidal forces of her spacefaring body, the Krun macula, are as strong as she believes, and as weak as she feels. And Luna Terra needs to make sure all the calculations are in order. Everything in her ship operates manually. She's just been at it long enough that it feels like a second skin. The jolt of nostalgia interrupts Luna Terra's mental math. She forgets to carry the one. It interrupts Pluto's focus, and she has a moment where she's not invincible. Close enough to touch the surface of the moon lab, Luna Terra is seen and known by Pluto, and they are suddenly falling down the well of too late, and nothing you can do.
I knew it.
Warning, gravitational interference. It's important to get a grip. Knowing that there's nothing you can do is something Pluto considers freeing, and Luna Terra considers exciting. Feeling doomed is clear permission to do whatever. As soon as the Mare Crisium is through the cloud cover, she fires solid light into the remains of the Celestial Mechanics lab and chases it through the wounds. The lab was recently damaged by the illegal launch of a hijacked ship, but that damage is barely noticeable compared to the massive hole left by a much, much larger ship crashing through. Luna Terra acts fast under pressure. If there's no point in hiding, there's no point in stopping. It's true. Luna Terra is living on the whim of Krun macula, which can probably do whatever to her at any time. If she can't run away, she wants to make the first move. It's the sort of thing that makes a lot of sense if you think about it, and no sense at all if you think a little more. But that's Luna Terra, isn't it? She's betting you'll think too much, or not enough. Against Pluto, is that really such a good idea? She's someone who always thinks just enough.
Is that really such a good idea? For Pluto to be a prince?
Yes.
Sorry, as soon as I saw that, I'm immediately like, ooh, Jada noise.
Yes. I believe you mean Domo Domo.
No, that's the... Domo Domo.
Which makes it easy for Luna Terra to slip through deep into the lab until it gets quiet except for the sounds of the moon quaking and trembling. After almost a year, the dread and the thrill is way too much to slow down and start talking. That's what the arrow flying into Pluto's gravity well is saying. Who will make the first move?
When Luna Terra punctures the last armor layer and opens up the terminal cavern, light spills out and screaming sound, because the Krun macula is peeling the lab and most of the moon inside out with the forces of its own tides.
What a cool robot. I like its cool face.
I love the candle bits. It's not something that's impossible or anything, it's just something that's only possible in theory, which is still terrifying, more terrifying. And more terrifying than that power is Pluto's finesse. And more terrifying than the finesse is her gentleness. Spooling matter like threads in the tiny galaxy of which she is the sun.
Hark, what light through yonder spaceship breaks. It is the east, and Pluto is the sun.
Nerd! Her power is very kind, but it's also a little perverse. What meaning does mercy have from something that can core out a moon? Krun macula's developers compared it to a black hole. They wanted a machine so powerful and absolute even light couldn't escape it. Luna Terra understands now that was wrong. She's a star, gushing and twinkling with matter and light. Who wouldn't be swept up in that? The Mare Crisium is so small. Pluto has never seen it from a perspective like Krun macula's before. She never imagined it would look so fragile from here, like a toy version of the fierce fighter she remembered. Pluto's sense of scale is true. Luna Terra feels just like a plastic toy, too.
Come on, say something. It's making me sad.
It really does fit you. So much more than I ever thought.
Is it hard to look away? Being able to render you speechless is the power I've always dreamed of. What do you think? I know just a look won't change your mind, but I want you to tell me.
Tell you what? That I regret betraying you? I told you then that I always would.
No. I won't let you do that, Luna T. Did you think I'd be mad? I mean, of course I'm mad at you, but not for anything you did to me. I wouldn't ever be mad at you for not having enough faith.
Whoops.
Dialogue. I'm just mad at you for not having enough faith in yourself to see it through.
Sorry.
Does right-click bring up message log? Nah. And leaving all the work to me.
And scroll wheel. Nope. Alright. Sorry. My bad.
Oops, I guess that is why I'm a little upset with you. Not mad, you know.
Just disappointed.
I can't believe I'm still the one scolding you like a kid. I also can't believe that Luna Terra's voice is Solid Snake.
I'm trying to be the grown-up, you know. So that wasn't what I was going for. But if we want to do David Hayter, I can do that. I'm trying to be the grown-up, you know. I did the responsible thing. I took the realistic option.
I remember
I'm
the
here
basics
to
of
play
CQC.
the part of the boring adult, the grown-up villain.
Oh, that's right. I remembered why I actually am mad at you. You better not go down quietly. You better really believe what you just said. I'll forgive you if you left us for something stupid, but I'll never forgive you if you left us for something you don't believe in. And you better not believe in it, because I also won't forgive you for fighting for a future that cruel.
That doesn't leave me a lot of options. I don't think I can fight against that.
Its claws could take out a tank.
Alright, I'm done with
Don't you dare. I won't forgive that either. Were you hoping, maybe, that it wouldn't be like this? That I wouldn't have to fight?
It'll change you in ways you don't understand.
I've seen you fight so many times. I saw when you got that scar, and your poor ship got her wound. Has anyone else seen that side of you as much as me?
I don't think so. Not even Europa. But it's different when you're on the other side.
You think I don't really know you because I've never stared down the barrel of your rifle or felt that knife nick my ship?
It's a different kind of knowing.
The carnal kind. Teach me then, or I'll teach you.
Ooh, interesting. So we get to choose which faction we're loyal to. I say for the first, since it's the first time we're playing it, we just stay true to our faction.
Yes.
We can mess around a little bit more later on, but for right now, for the first time through, I think it just makes sense to play it as you'd expect.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's.
That's Schooler.
Yep. As soon as Pluto blinks, that's the moment Mare Crisium attacks, a little out of fear, mostly out of awe. Aw.
Aww.
It's a confused move, the first move, which is so unlike her. So unlike her that it nearly takes Krun Macula by surprise. All matter parts along the vectors of inertia that Pluto has set, but these bullets stubbornly curve, bury into her flank and sting with a sharp and subtle gravity of their own. Ow! That kind of stings, Luna T. Stop doing things like that. What?
Luna Terra is crushed instantly and she's dead.
No, Luna Terra dodged at the last second. Okay, that had me going for a moment. No, the Mare Crisium is torn apart from every joint. No, Luna Terra is safe at home. She never left. No, Luna Terra hasn't moved, and it's only because she can't bring herself to. Luna Terra is feeling ghosts of the space-times that Pluto has cut off, escape routes she rushed for but don't exist. Luna Terra is trying to think of something to say, she really is, but that's impossible, because Krun Macula is the size of the universe, and this is absolutely Gurren Lagann. Giant robots the size of universe. I am so hype. Her seeping nebula glows with the promise to swallow up the space station and Luna Terra and the whole solar system. That's not the way, Luna T. You have to come for me like you really mean it, or that's what's gonna happen. The Mare Crisium's engines spin to no response. Luna Terra's mind is racing, but there's no thought she can hold on to. Except how disappointed and sad Pluto is. If you give me just one moment, you'll pass my event horizon, and you'll never escape. Always getting closer, but never getting there, falling forever. If you don't figure out how to unstick yourself, I might leave you there. Remember for next time, okay? Don't keep breaking my heart. The Mare Crisium plummets, and the Krone Macula rises up, exiting the moon like a shooting star, tearing the lab up into space with her. These robots are badass.
Damn, this is cool.
I am so excited. I don't fucking believe it. Hell yes.
Neat.
Okay, mail time. Oh.
Okay, so it's top to bottom. Okay,
Yep.
okay. I thought it was gonna be okay. Subject regarding Mecha 2 Krone Macula.
Okay.
Origins ship self-development documentation. Author operations decommission share Europa. It was commissioned before it had a pilot, before the technology for piloting it had even been developed, before the technology for its workings had been developed. I think we recognize that the construction was an act of faith. Nix's directive was to create the sort of self that we wished to see. I think, of course, that was the moment that it was clear to me that Nix was fighting for what she believed humans could be, but not who humans were. I think at the same time I didn't understand the difference, or what Nix might not consider important because of her tendency to think this way. Many of the functions of the Krone Macula have not been invented yet. It is limitlessly expandable. I have, of course, requested for it to be decommissioned, but believe ultimately you'll want to scrap it. If this committee has indeed found nothing in space worth salvaging, I would have to wonder about the committee's intentions and their curiosity towards this last fragment. The end results of the Krone Macula's functions are indistinguishable from Nix's dream, so there's no briefing I can provide that will be more comprehensive than the ones you've received from Nix herself. I can only speculate on which she has or has not been able to implement successfully. As terrifying as the Krone Macula is, the pilot Dr. Nix has found for it is even more terrifying by far. They might find a way to make it even more yet.
So that's Memorial Foundation there, analyzing the Krone Macula, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as I can tell, yes.
Right, because Europa was mentioned by Lunati.
Yes. Yeah. Heads up, if you don't know this about me, I'm really bad at keeping names and stuff, in my head, so I rely a lot on context to keep, the continuity of stuff going on. So if I mess...
on me.
And on Vivian, since she's better at this stuff than I am. So if I mess up a continuity thing, yell at me in the comments.
Okay. I will
just
do
keep
this.
yell even louder, and I'll hear you eventually. Tidal theory and celestial mechanics. General information record pool. Author, director of celestial mechanics, Yabatus. Let us begin with imagining an inert theoretical mass of matter, equivalent physically in all ways to the third body in the solar system, a theoretical planet Terra, absent of human culture. How would we model the physical properties of such a planet, where Jungian Newtonian models do not... Is it Jungian?
It's young.
It's a young? Okay. Jungian Newtonian models do not apply. The soft science of celestial mechanics is not purely a thought exercise, but an inquiry into what, if any, default physical properties would exist in the universe without the influence of culture. Because of its potential application in space colonization, for its use in modeling the physics of foreign celestial bodies, and the utility of a concept of terra and the philosophical hard sciences for more precisely defining Earth as the lines of human dominion rather than a specific physical body, celestial mechanics has been integrated as a branch of contemporary metacultural general relativity. What would it be like to imagine a world in which humans have one-to-one dominion over real phenomena? In such a world, we might think of gravity in multiple senses, since the agency of humanity over each other mentally, spiritually, and culturally would not be the same as physically. The conversion of matter into energy, and energy into culture, and culture back to matter again, is complicated by distortions caused by the culture's ability to arbitrarily set conversion parameters. This is caused not because of power of human gravity, but actually by its weakness and incompleteness. In a theoretical universe in which humanity has full dominion over the physical universe, the influence of culture would be a one-to-one, constant. The physical universe would abide by inflexible fundamental laws. In such a world, we would have to separate fields of study that involve metaphors from ones that describe worldly phenomenon, because our world would be objectively determined. While humans would be able to disagree and defy each other, they would ascribe to an inflexible, perfect system as decided by humanity.
Interesting. So this is an idealist setting.
Okay.
And philosophically,
Yep.
that is
Yep.
to say, metaphysical idealism. and the universe does not abide by inflexible fundamental laws. The world is not objectively determined. That is cool. That is interesting.
Neat!
That is probably good to know for later.
Indeed. Check our comms. I wish you didn't have to do... Was that my Mars voice?
I don't remember.
I wish you didn't have to do this.
But I love chatting with you. Especially about your latest sordid affairs. Who punched you in the nose this time?
Well, thanks. Wait, that's not what I meant. And sordid?
Dramatic, tempestuous, explosive, Mars bringer of war?
Ba-da-da-dum, bum, 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 ba-da-da-dum, bum, 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 All right. With apologies to Gustav Holst. No.
Problematic?
No!
Tumultuous?
That's sexier. But that's still bad.
I mean, how would you describe him?
Not like that. Intense or something. The last one was really good until the end.
Should I be more generous?
Well, it'd be nice.
But you're not very good at relationships.
Kill me.
It's kind of cute. You love people so much that you forget about them completely.
Your honesty really hurts sometimes, you know?
You fall for glittering faraway girls, but what you really need is someone who doesn't put up with you. There's gotta be someone, somewhere, who won't let you get away with anything. I believe in you.
I'm trying to save the world. I don't really have time for this.
But you're not too busy to keep flirting?
Pluto, God!
Sorry, BB. No mercy for you. It's out of love. One day you're gonna be as good at treating girls as you are at piloting.
Don't twist the knife.
Sorry.
You forgot the
less than three.
It's fine. I know I'm not great at it. Hey, you did that thing again.
What thing?
You know that thing. Where you change the topic and forget what I wanted to talk to you about, and I forget what I wanted to talk to you about, so you don't have to answer. Except I have a chat log so I can scroll back and see.
It's sweet you wish I didn't have to fight.
See, you do remember. You remember better than I do.
But why don't we leave it at that?
Why?
Because there's nothing we can do about it.
We could find a way. I don't want you to do this if you don't have to.
Chat?
No, I mean fight. Arg, you just did it again. Nice.
Oh.
Okay, cool. So we don't... Okay, so we do wind up doing everything.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
So, I wonder if we meet celestial mechanics in Saturn Return.
Mayhap.
Also, didn't we just tear that lab to shreds? Or is this a different one? The Daphnis lab. I don't remember what the lab was that we just cored out its fucking moon.
Pluto, why are you suiting up? The Celestial Mechanics lab was wrecked and the prototype escaped. We should be heading back to the inner solar system.
It totally is the same lab.
Yeah.
She's still here.
Who?
Some incredibly ridiculous, utterly irresponsible, dangerously devious brat named Mars.
I'm not who you're talking about, right?
Again. Don't be silly. You're not devious at all.
Then who? Also, hey!
They're being very tricky, so I can't quite tell, but I have rough coordinates. Why are Mars's faces the best ones?
Mars's faces are amazing! Whoever it was that said do Pluto's route first, thank you.
Wait, did someone say that?
No, but from the spoiler-free discussion on Twitter, I saw people kept mentioning how Pluto's route was amazing.
Okay. Oh no, but if we did best girls first, then what if we're setting ourselves up for...
That just means we'll have to have more Solid Snake.
Okay. Anyway, they slip between the cracks of the universe, play fast and loose with the laws of physics. Staying hidden and out of sight, but being really smug about it. I think they're showing off. So it couldn't be anyone but the pilot of Celestial Mechanics prototype, right?
Why? That's stupid. What sort of pilot would be that irresponsible with a prototype?
Hey Mars, when you were in the academy, how many prototype units did you wreck?
Let's not talk about that now.
I'm just teasing, Mars. You're much better behaved now.
If the intel is true, their prototype is really powerful, even against you.
I know. I might not be able to stop her.
This location is the experimental lab. It was shut down right before Earth canceled the space program. I don't like this place, Pluto. It's like they shut down Daphnis Lab and converted it into the perfect site for an ambush.
Really? It's too much for me?
Well... upset Mars face!
It's stronger than the fleet I destroyed?
I mean, I'm not saying you're not strong enough, but a stealth mission against a secret weapon is different. No one knows what Celestial Mechanics is planning, but it's always awful. It's definitely a trap. This mission to the outer planets is only to destroy Celestial Mechanics labs and prevent Memorial Foundation from recovering the prototype.
Mars, if you keep trying to protect me, I'll get mad.
But I'm...
Let me have the tiniest bit of fun.
Oh, upset Pluto face. Oh, that's very good.
I'll be fine. After all, I have a lot of experience correcting unruly show-offs who act out for attention.
Am I getting a very maternal vibe out of Pluto?
Maybe. Daphnis, the tiny shepherd moon, so small it barely earns the name, tumbles through the Keller Gap, ruffling the rings of the planet it orbits. Ruffle, ruffle.
Aww. It'd be easier to
houses-
ruffle my hair if it wasn't pulled back at the moment.
It houses the last official laboratory of Earth's decommissioned space program, training ground of failures like Saturn, and special girls like Pluto, who wears shoes that say, "Here comes a special girl, here comes a special girl."
What?
You don't, here comes a special boy?
Oh, I don't know what that is.
You don't take wood?
No. Oh. That does sound like an Achewood now that I
It
think
is.
about it.
Saturn remembers it feeling cramped, anxious, and scary. No, wait. Pluto remembers it that way. Saturn remembers when it used to feel so special to be chosen, a candidate for the last generation of pilots. But didn't Pluto feel that way too? Sometimes two things are true. In this place, gravity is quietly degenerating, and distances are becoming ambiguous, between past and present, between me and you. The Daphnis lab seems smaller to Saturn now, though not as tiny as it feels to Pluto, and that's obvious. No longer people-sized, she tears through it like worms in an apple. But there's a much bigger worm here, and she doesn't know anymore if this was a good idea, what was a good idea. Saturn doesn't have any ideas, she's just trying to hide, even though there's no place where you can not be felt by me. Oh.
Alert. Tidal resonance. IFF confirms enemy. Warning. Gravitational hazard. Danger. Pressure exceeding safe range. Ooh. Saturn. Whatever you get default for. I know it's extremely exciting. Stop making me so nervous.
Supermassive. Small enough to hide in this complex, but with a dual reactor denser than the entire moon compressed into the head of a pin. An hour ago, and Saturn felt the gravitational pull of something so big and so close and so powerful, the interior of her cockpit creaked with pressure, and her head, heart, and eyes welled up with tears. Something that couldn't be anyone other than Pluto.
Cool. She must be pretty big, huh? So why is she so hard to find?
Saturn has no idea.
Why do I have the feeling someone's laughing at me?
No one is laughing at Saturn. The lab's been abandoned for years. But Pluto, wherever she is, giggles. Not in a mean way. She really does think it's cute.
I haven't thought about Pluto in a long time. Oh man, would it be funny if she was in that monster?
Well, now someone is laughing at Saturn.
Hey! I know someone's there. I can feel you listening. But I can hear you too. And I can catch you. You're not the only one who can fuck with the narrative.
Whoa! That was close.
Mutually assured destruction or narrow escape.
Well...
Ooh, well, we were going straight ahead this route, right?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Like, not because I don't want just one straightforward. And then we can start fucking with shit.
Okay. It's easiest to catch someone. If you don't care, you might get caught yourself.
Besides, if you want to drive someone wild, you gotta show them you're worth catching. And that you're good enough to catch them too.
The lab is dark. The malfunctioning lights cast an eerie glow. Dying culture without gravity to hold it together. But she can hear the faint laughter rippling in the gravity, and where it's coming from. When you don't know the controls, mashing all the buttons at once is just as good.
Got you.
It's a hit. Her claws sink in. They tremble in the pressure. Whatever they've sunk into is bigger than belief. The Krone Macula towers over Saturn. Pluto's ship is so big it barely fits in the complex, but it's only a speck compared to how big it feels. Supermassive enough to warp local space-time, humming and vibrating with nebula dust. Incredibly gentle, or she would have destroyed Saturn and the whole complex without even trying. Oh wow, you got me.
Lucky.
No matter what size it appears, in the truest, most real sense of size, the ship is bigger than this moon, than anything Saturn can imagine. String of Pearls quickly flits away, but Krone Macula's grip is on her before she can twitch. And I've got you, Saturn. I really was surprised to see you like this.
Cool, right? I've got poison now too. Want to see if you're still the top weirdo psychic mutant in space?
Oh wow, sounds really cool, but I don't know if you're ready yet.
What? You don't know if she's ready? What are you, a frickin' boss character and like halfway through a game after you just got your ass handed to you? Like, oh, I don't know if you're ready to fight me at your full power yet. It's like, I just kicked your ass. Well, I guess I'll see you at the end of Act 3. Wanna bet?
Sure.
No, one more time. That was not all caps, sure.
Sure.
Damn it. Alright, fine. We move on.
Sure. There, did I do it right?
You did it. You did it. You did good.
The string of pearls screeches and buckles as the dust ignites and a tiny portion of Pluto's tidal forces slam into her. Oh, too many consonants.
Oh no. Warning, gravity hazard. Gah!
Had enough?
You kidding?
Okay, we can turn it up.
Woo! That is sure insane. It feels like my brain is melting into the universe.
You're the one who wanted to show off. You don't have to do that to endear yourself to me. But if you really want to impress me, you're gonna have to do better than that.
Yeah? You're really still not impressed, even by this?
By what? Oh, that does sting. It spreads like a poison, even through metal. It jumps like electricity, but drips like a liquid, pink and impossible, and spreading quickly through the Krone Macula's body. So you're not just full of risky bad ideas. That makes me happy. I won't shut you down too hard.
Yeah, okay, you win.
You gonna be good now?
Okay. So, what do you want to talk about? As Cradle's Grace's glittering psychic death machine, you definitely have more important things to do than go out of your way to bully me for no reason, right?
Nah.
Nah.
Oh, that's right. That man and the fleet are escaping, aren't they?
Hope you don't mind falling for this trap.
Trap? You? Silly. I know you're more important than that.
Trans joke? Trans joke? No.
I don't think
probably
so.
Not. Probably not.
I was trying to think of a sensitive way to, but nah.
But no. Hey, we're trans. If we can make the insensitive version of the joke. More than catching the rest of the Celestial Mechanics fleet?
I knew this would be fun, and you knew it too.
I am absolutely delighted about you doing that, just to be clear, so you don't have to read my mind to roast me about it.
I want to buckle like Saturn's.
Why is Saturn buckled across the top boob?
I don't know.
Above boob.
But it's a good buckle, and I desire such a buckle also.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't read minds. You know that's not how it works. Pluto has no buckles at all.
That's true, but Pluto's got plants.
True. But I also don't need to know that. But I did want to know how the biggest overachiever of my juniors turned into such a bad girl.
If you really remembered me, you'd remember I wasn't ever good.
I do remember you. Even if you're not that good at being bad, do you know what you're doing? With that machine that's so dangerous we don't even want to find out what it does?
I think you answered your own question about why I'm keeping it. Are you gonna stop me then? But you don't want to? Hey, stop, don't pry into me. If you're pitying me, I'll make you regret it. Not all of us come out perfect like you. Some of us get thrown out before they see any use at all.
I won't pity you. I really would have torn this machine apart. But now that I'm here, gifted little mutant to gifted little mutant, I can't bear to. Because some of us just haven't been thrown out yet. Lab-grown girls like us should stick together. Screenshotted. Liked, commented, subscribed. Lab-grown girls like us should stick together.
Now, question, is that because that they share the experience of having grown up in a lab, or because they are actually slime girls that are sticky? I just need to understand the canon here. It might still make you regret it.
Winning isn't my most important task. It's not yours either.
Are you sure about that?
You're not who I'm worried about. It's only your boss I can't forgive.
Oh, I love hearing that. Tell me more. I'm getting a crush already. Regretting it now?
Don't worry. There's nothing you can make me regret.
Pluto is fucking weird.
Pluto is great.
Ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. No, there will never be a planet Mars. That's a name reserved for places where human life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter Aries. But like the stringy, inedible weeds that grow when nothing else does, Cradle's Grace is dug in, and we can't get them out. The colonies are wrecked, the terraforming engines are broken, the gravity furnaces are out of control. There's no resources left on this planet, no strategic value. This planet doesn't even exist. It's an inert rock. There's no point in fighting. There's no need to fight. Ship selves can't keep you alive alone forever, and even if that was the case, we could leave tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation NSES fleet already did. That's why there's barely any of us left, and why we can't get them out. What, why don't I go home too? And leave all those idiots to just fucking die in a rock? Who do you think we're doing this for? External communication sent on August 31, 1978 by Memorial Foundation troops.
Interesting.
Hey, it's not like we're idiots. We know we're doomed. This planet still doesn't fulfill the requirements for human life. And life is just the start anyway. Don't you know that gravity is something more important? You do understand celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made of tiny particles, but enough of it exerts gravity that stitches the universe together. Culture is made of tiny humans, and enough of it together can decide what's real and what isn't. It is really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans get made. Enough humans can decide anything, and then it'll be true, even about what's human and what's not. They don't even have to wait for the deadline. They've already decided that any human without their feet planted on the earth is not, in fact, a human. That's a pretty unusual thing for humans to do. No differences of any kind need to exist. We'll just be aliens, and they'll send the real military after us, and we'll die. But if we just hold the line here for our princess to get through and make it to the moon, she'll open up the gravity well, and then we get to decide. Internal communication sent on January 25th, 1981 by Cradle's Grace's Irregulars.
We're pretty irregular.
Yep. It's morning on Aries, but what's time and space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled and the prototype retrofitted with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of the canyons of Mars where the Cradle's Graces and Memorial Foundation are bickering. Hold the city ruins against invading troops, and make sure no one tries to set the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. It's a pretty thankless job. But me, I can't wait to see what happens. It's the most exciting space has ever been. Before we got here, this was a dead rock, but the best we could have ever hoped for was Earth in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, Earth will take drastic steps to ensure that humanity is not divided. What they're afraid of happening, we'll ensure that it happens. We'll finally have something alien in space. Private communication sent on January 26, 1981 by a celestial mechanics researcher.
Cool.
Neat. Day 3.
Nice. All missions on Cronus orbit completed. Maiden flight and testing of Crown Macula is done.
Report received. Awaiting new directives.
I'm heading back to Ares, of course. It's the home of Cradle's Graces, after all. We have to finish up the last touches on Crown Macula and prepare for the last battle on Earth's moon.
Ooh.
Celestial mechanics will regroup and refuel there, and maybe we can nip them in the bud. And Memorial Foundation has been fighting us there since the conflict began, and maybe this time we can push them back. Send a message to everyone, time to come home, so we can be ready for the journey. Ready for launch.
Ooh. Oh, I see. So, the alignment chart shows us as a body.
Distorting the gravity well.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's really cool. I was like, oh, they're going to do this weird, complex three-dimensional alignment chart. I was like, oh, whatever. But no, that's better.
Let's read our mail.
Now let's do cams first.
Okay. Are you scared?
Yeah. You?
Yeah, but I'm excited too. I'm looking forward to what we could be.
Hey, Pluto. How can you be sure?
Sure? About what?
Sure about anything. Everything's so frustrating, pointless, doomed. No matter how hard I fight, it stays that way. So how can you be sure it's not going to be that way someday?
You're the person I want to ask about that. Because you fight every day like you're not thinking about those things.
What's that supposed to mean? I've gotta fight. That's what we have to do. Of course I still think about those things, even when I'm fighting.
Sorry, Mars, of course you do.
Everyone has doubts like that.
Even me then, right?
But it doesn't feel like you do. I mean, you make it seem like everything's going to be alright.
But you just do what you have to, without even worrying about it. Without even worrying about whether it's right or not, or whether it will come to anything or not. You're a genius, you know. You're smarter than me.
That's not true. I just have to stop thinking if I want to just do whatever it is that needs doing. I put myself on pause. Don't you?
Maybe that's why I'm still so scared.
Check our mail. Subject, pilot interfacing. Origin, direct message. Author, Mars. Okay, well, so the very first thing you need to know about pilot interfacing is that it's the most important part of piloting. You don't really have to know any of this stuff, but since you asked, I'll give you the basic rundown. There are actually a few ways it's useful to know, even if it's basically just to explain why no one can do anything to stop you because of the completely unfair bullshit you have. Any given ship self may have a variety of prescribed functions, you know. That's called the machine's intent. It's not that the machine has consciousness, even if it seems like it does. That's just projection, an inaccurate metaphor. Even if you're using a made-to-order ship for you alone or customizing it for that purpose, you still have to bring your intentions in line with the craft's. That's what interfacing really means. That's why interfacing is the most important part of piloting, and why basically the only thing the R&D crews do is find better ways to reduce the lag. Subject, White Void. Origin, Title Mechanics Research Archives. Author, Dr. Nix. The fearful power is evident, so much so that I hesitate to even criticize it. It is the nature of the tyrant theory that is fed by all things, including attempts to dismantle it. It can simply assimilate those theories and absolve itself of potential guilt and rhetorical weakness by assuming new forms, because it has no inherent premise that is not fungible, but the impulse to make all else part of it. Far from expanding to incorporate diverse and contradictory ideas into itself, the theory would remove alternate quantum states until finding a solution that would incorporate perfectly in line with the unified culture theory. This is a necessary and inherent step because, in order to prevent any given feature of such a theoretical culture to be subject to reversion, the gravitational pull of the culture must be so great that no information about it can escape. As the theory accumulates culture through culture mass energy conversion, its gravity would steadily begin to grow and its energy decrease until it began to continuously collapse into a single coordinate, and no distinguishing information would be able to escape. The interplay of variant states is necessary for culture to create and change, and this unified field culture would be unable to do it so. It would only be able to assimilate and devour. Such a theory would not redefine hierarchy, but enshrine it forever. Far from a compassionate future for humanity, it would necessitate the complete removal of human variance. All humanity and all existence would revolve around a singularity of the unified field culture, the tyrant theory, a white void, a single conqueror thought at the center of the universe. Let's see what we got in our mission box.
Whoa.
Oh, NASA people.
So it looks like that one's the Earth's font and that one's the Celestial Mechanics font in the titles.
I think you're right. So then we'll see the Cradle's Graces font if we do another route.
Yeah, I believe you mean when.
Sorry.
And by when, I believe you mean later today.
Yeah, exactly. Which one do we want to do?
Well, I don't know. I picked the order last time.
What if we just stayed on the screen for a long time and didn't make any decisions?
I think that's a great idea.
Excellent. Rift in the Earth.
Okay.
Oops, hold on, let's read the thing. After her maiden voyage, Cradle's Graces is testing the finishing touches on the terrifying Krone Macula prototype. It's a chance for Lunaterra to defeat their trump card, but will she close the rift between them instead, or only widen it deeper? Recalibrating. How's the stability? Remember to keep the left side balanced.
It's fine, Mars. You don't have to fuss so much.
There's just no reason to take a test flight without escorts, especially with Memorial Foundation patrolling the area.
Ugh, Mars. They really could be doing anything at all more useful. This ship doesn't need protection from anything, even if we're exposing the cores for testing. And you know I hate being treated like a princess.
But you are important, and your ship is too. It's not fussy and annoying to be looking out.
It is too annoying. I'll be annoyed by whatever I want. Stop being jealous. I'm not looking for an excuse to bump into Luna T.
I never said that. Listen to Dr. Nix for once, even if you won't listen to me. Look, I'm not escorting you. You win, okay? But please, just be careful. I know you think I treat you like glass, but I really... What's so funny? Why are you laughing?
Sorry. It's just hard for me to stay mad when you're such a dork. And you care so much. Even if you're non-apologizing and still want so bad to be a knight in shining armor. You're the only one I can still be such a petulant kid in front of. Instead of the princess everyone loves.
Pluto. Wait, you're just being a brat for fun? I'm mad now.
Everyone else gets to be, especially you.
Stop making fun of me.
I'll stop making fun of you when you stop making such cute faces. Remember when in the academy, when people asked you where I was, they'd say, "Hey Mars, where's your..."
Okay, yes, launch permissions cleared. You are cleared for takeoff.
Well, let's be loyal.
Make up and forget. Outcome favors the Memorial Foundation, or fight until we forgive each other.
Loyal.
The balance shifts because Lunaterra hesitated and Pluto did too. Pluto passed over the Ares Canyon once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. Lunaterra had her chance to make the first move, but Pluto couldn't keep pretending she didn't notice her lying in wait. It wasn't that Lunaterra was ready to take the shot. Was ready to take the shot. It's that she still hadn't decided to take it or not. Pluto has been waiting for her to grow up for a long time. She's tired of being the one waiting. There's no time for elegant duels or anticlimactic sniping. When Krone Macula crashes into the canyon, it's the worst kind of fight.
Krone Macula's fingers will no longer open or close, but she swipes with a useless limb anyway. The ring finger of Pluto's ship self twists off, breaking with the force of backhanding Maricrisium into the canyon wall, which scrambles to its feet, and then falls down immediately. Lunaterra's balance gyros must be broken, but that's not so bad. At least she still has 2 legs, unlike the Krone Macula.
What?
Luna T, you really are the most stubborn woman I know. I'm proud of you, but that you're only this tenacious when I'm finally being serious is a little vexing, you know?
I mean, I've kept going this long. It has to count for something, right?
I don't want to wreck you. I just really need you to win or lose. Could you do that, please?
Okay, I figured out why I picked that voice for Lunatera. She reminds me of a Steven Universe character. Which one, though? It's been so long since we've seen Steven Universe.
No, I know what you mean
Yeah,
now.
exactly. But, okay, don't
Freaking Jasper, is it?
Maybe?
Is it Jasper? It's totally Jasper.
It's just been a long time since we've seen it, and we have a lot to catch up on. So forgive me for not having, like, my gems known off the top of my head. But anyway, both of those are hard to do.
Then you've got 5 minutes to grow up.
Can I just say I really freaking love the art direction in this?
It's so good.
It's amazing.
I love the abstract robot fights and abstract robots, where it takes a very different tack than a lot of mecha media does, where a great deal is put into, hey, here's this beautiful, gorgeous animated combat scene between these beautiful, gorgeous, animated, perfectly detailed robots. And this is like, nah. These fights are about the characters and the ideals and all of this weird shit that's going on in the settings.
Yeah.
And also, there are big robots, but...
And I also just love the pastel-ish and like the very bright, bold colors.
Yeah.
I don't want to say lack of nuance in the art, but everything pops and stands out.
Yeah.
You know, I love it.
I don't think I read that screen before we went ahead.
Whatever, the audience read it.
It might not be enough. The Mari Crisium was made not be caught. More precisely, Lunatera made the Mari Crisium something that couldn't be caught. No, don't you dare. Her fingers refuse to close, and Mari Crisium slips away.
Ha! Sorry, I'm such a cockroach.
Don't be. Slipping away is so like you. I don't know what else I expect. Luna T, I really, really can't let you get away. Not without an answer.
I'm not going to do that.
What are you trying to do, then?
We promised we'd fight until one of us won. And then we'd go along with whatever the other decided.
So why are you trying to take that away from me? Lunatera holds Crunmacula's severed left tidal reactor. Pluto can go without it, but not for long. It's what makes the Crunmacula so impossible, and without it, she can't be impossible for very long. That core is everything I have, but the rest of me isn't going to last long without it, so it might as well be everything. If I don't have that, I can't follow you, win or lose.
I really don't think it's good for you.
The Crunmacula makes a leap and crashes into the ground, just short of the Mari Crisium. It's just close enough Lunatera nearly forgets to take the opportunity to get a shot in Crunmacula's chest before she can recover to block it. You're going to lecture me about doing what's healthy? You've got a lot of nerve. It's not cute.
If we had to fight each other like this, I really wish I didn't have to be with you in that thing.
You don't like it, huh? You've always been like this. You're trying to tell me what's good for me? You don't want to admit this is really me? Luna T, I would listen to you if you had ever listened to me once ever.
I told you, I haven't gotten any better in the time we've been apart. I don't want you to not be strong, or beautiful, or amazing. I just don't want you to be holding this weight of Cradle's graces, everyone's hopes and dreams, all by yourself.
Hopes and dreams?
Stop.
Do, 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 do. So
please, just rest for now.
Don't tell me that. I hate this, hate this, hate this. You never listen, and you know I'll always let you win in the end. But not this time.
I don't know what you mean.
I've been really patient. So if you keep playing dumb, you're gonna make me mad.
I said, I don't know what you mean. I don't want anything else. I'm a cockroach. I don't need anything myself.
Liar. Are you trying to make me mad?
Be satisfied with it. I don't have any other answer. If I had one, I'd give it, so drop it.
I'm not satisfied. No. You grow up, and you be the adult for once. Get back here. Crunmacula's feet are still broken, but Pluto moves her with gravity alone. Mari Crisium's engines flare. Navi is broken. Everything is broken, but it will move.
I think Flare Navi is the...
Yeah.
Not like M dash, but an N dash.
Yeah,
okay.
True. True. No, not this time. Crunmacula's twin tidal reactors are falling apart with one of them nearly torn out, yet she still moves. The pressure of the unrestricted gravity peels the paint off Mare Crisium. Her steels and plastics are chattering. Her remaining useless arm snaps, and her engine wings creak. That pressure is not enough to bring her down, but it's enough for her to falter, and Crunmacula grabs her foot and slams her to the ground. Mare Crisium creaks and strains, trying to flee, so Pluto pulls the rest of herself on top of her.
Pluto, I'm serious.
You're not the only one. I have things I'm willing to be hard and cruel for now, too.
Question. Is the way the fight scene is described oddly sexual?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm picking up on that.
Mare Crisium fires a sidearm. It doesn't dent Pluto. Pluto opens her hand. The fingers don't work, but the plasma still does, which flays Lunaterra's chassis, but gently.
Am I reading too much into the stigmata thing down here?
Probably not.
Cool.
Giant robos with stigmata and spears in and stuff is kind of a thing. I'm really serious this time. I can't stop for a second, so I really need it back. It's already been too long, so give me back that part of me. Mare Crisium opens her left hand. Pluto's missing reactor is still beating, wildly. Sorry to be like this, but this ship self and what it can do are more important than me, than anything else about me.
Sorry to do it to you.
We
All right,
can't do that twice in a row.
No. We can, but now we have to do it a third time.
Okay, but we have to wait a while.
Yeah, exactly. Rule of 3. Nothing is more important than you.
A gentle click, Lunaterra's sidearm pointed at the stolen reactor, fires. The solid light slug misses, just barely. There's a second shot, but it's buried in Pluto's blocking hand, and there's a third shot, but Pluto's ripped off the arm of Mare Crisium, so it's just the last reflex of a limb separated from its owner.
And it Joss Whedon's, probably. I don't know.
But that's all that the broken arm of Crunmacula can take. Its fingers make a last twitch before her arm finally snaps under its own weight, and the Crunmacula falls to what's left of its knees. How long are you going to make me put up with this?
What do you mean? You don't want to fight with me. Not a fight for real. Your heart isn't in it, so let's not.
No. No. That's the only thing I want. Why are you like this? Acting like you know what I want better than I do. So what if you're right? Of course I don't want to fight you. Damn it, I hate you. After all that, I'm the one who's crying at the end again. The last time it was like this, I was the one crying too. Now I'm powerful like you, have something I'm fighting for like you, that's not you or anyone but me. So let me fight for that. Stop protecting me. Stop making me fight for you. It's so easy to fight for you. If I'm not careful, it's all I'll ever want to do.
I'm sorry.
Don't want a sorry. You must think it's so easy to not care about you, but it's not. It's easy for you to not care about you, but it's the hardest thing for me. Oof.
Ooh.
Ow, my bones.
Oh, did we drink the feel-hurting juice again?
Yes. Ugh, I'm still the one who ended up crying. Again. You wouldn't listen back then either. Mare Crisium rises, gently brushes away the burnt portions of Crunmacula's armor. The joints are already starting to heal as gravity pulls them back. Almost just as good as new, but a little changed.
I know you.
Don't distract yourself, dummy. Reattaching arms is hard, so do mine right at least.
It was the same last time, too. I said you deserve better.
I said, but you are better.
I just ignored it because I'm stupid. Not because I'm cool.
Thank God. Everything is worth it. If you finally don't think you're cool anymore.
What the frick? What the friggin' frick? Alright, comms.
Hi, Mars. Do you ever miss Lunaterra?
What? No. In case you've forgotten, she betrayed us and went back to Memorial Foundation. I know you want her back because you were kind and forgiving, but I'm not, and I'll kick her butt if I ever see her again.
Haha, but that's no different than how you two used to be. You two only fight less now. That's the part that's sad.
She was always smug, always a know-it-all, and always one step ahead. The worst senior pilot, and she didn't teach me shit!
Breakups really do turn all your memories sour, huh?
That's Shut up. Lunaterra is the only one I feel that way about.
I know, you pine after good girls way too much. I think dating bad people is good for you.
If I have to go through that again, no thanks. The only thing I miss is the expression on her face after I got one up on her.
Her smile, you mean?
You miss it too.
I do. I'm glad you can get nostalgic sometimes too. Do you miss the days of the Cold War, fighting against the existential threat, too?
It was scary in a different way. It was so easy I never had to think about it, tearing through that ephemeral light that was only sort of there. It was scary because we didn't know what would happen or what it was, but we didn't need to know any of those answers, and we just got to fight forever. It was fun.
Until I came along.
What do you mean?
If you think about it, it was me, wasn't it? Before they even finished the Chronmacula, even in just the prototype. In my first provisional mission, I wiped out the enemy in the time it took to blink. And they haven't come back since. Before it was fun for everyone. You were strong, but it was still hard. But there was no point in sending all of you out to protect Earth, when it turned out the existential threat was so weak I could destroy it with the snap of a finger.
That's reversing cause and effect. They just used that as an excuse to stop caring about colonization. Even if it was never a threat to our existence, they didn't have to give up on everything. It's not your fault. Anyway, Alien Phenomena in the Pilot Program. Origin Title Mechanics Research Archives. Author, Director of Celestial Mechanics, Yapetus. The Scout program was created to be fungible with various other religions or philosophies in direct response to the immediate post-war need to address growing existential threats. As a stopgap measure, the Memorial Foundation has had frustrations with indefinite extensions of scouting programs internationally and mostly universal failure to advance beyond the need for it. The model, or more specifically the Scouts, were a victim of the space program's own success at fighting the Cold War. With support for a unified approach to space in order to prevent human cultural rivalry, the Memorial Foundation has been granted an opportunity to revise the scouting program and to change the reactive war of attrition into a proactive one and confront the existential threat directly. The existential threat is an alien threat. We must think of them as one and the same. It is not known to us. What is not known to us is the alien. The alien is defined by that most familiar function. F of x equals that which is human, that humans are not. A fascinating logical paradox of much utility in research is the thought exercise. Imagine something that humans could not imagine. Logically, you should be able to do it. You should not be able to do it. It's inherently impossible to imagine something that you have, by definition, the capabilities to imagine. And yet, this thought exercise leads us to begin defining first what is human. In other words, what is conventional. And then by the same process to imagine what is unconventional. In fact, this is the essence of conquering the unknown. Rather than allowing it the power to rule and to safely integrate it in culture, than for it to fester in anti-culture. But it will not produce what is truly alien to us. Solving this puzzle requires us to be a part of what humanity does not wish to be. Subject, Ray. Origin, direct message, author Mars. Fine, okay, I know, I didn't get to the point, but I have to build up to it, okay? The contextualizing information is important, but okay, I'll actually talk about it this time. Mechanical interface is how machines typically work. You're gonna yell at me for not being clear if I don't say this, but if I say that's when you've got physical switches and buttons and steering devices and you move them with your hands, that doesn't actually really convey it. It's because you do those things in your ship self, but you don't use mechanical interfacing. So it actually matters that it's defined as exact mental instruction. It does exactly what you tell it. You can make anything you want to happen, but you have to give it exact instructions. There's a physical lag between yourself and the machine, but there's also the nuanced nature of giving the instructions. It's a really hard thing to do. I always say most people would prefer to move a machine on raw instinct or like a part of their body. I don't think many people actually get the best results from an interface like that. Unless, yes, they're like our mutual ex. Hey, is that what you wanted to know? Is that why you wanted to know? Interesting.
Well, time to do a deep dive?
Deep dive. The oxygen ocean serves as both a fuel yard and terraforming engine for the planet Ares, and it's the perfect hiding place for the migrating celestial mechanics fleet. But deep down, something is reaching up for them. Blanche. Is she operational?
Mars.
All checks clear?
Honey.
Dual tidal resonator sync clears all checks?
It's close enough to tear a moon inside out.
And you're really still sure about this?
Mars, I love you very much, and I'm going to scream if you ask me one more question.
What?
Ah!
Say what again? Ah, Pluto!
Sorry, I just couldn't back off after saying that.
My soul hurts. Why did you do that?
Because you didn't listen to me.
I was listening!
You didn't listen. You've got such a big heart, and you don't listen with it at all.
I don't want you to go.
That's better. It's what you really wanted to say. I'm glad you could say it.
But you're not going to listen to it.
Nope.
You could. At least after you just said.
Not at all. Don't sulk. This was always the plan. We have to show everyone what this weapon can actually do. This is just a taste, but no one is going to respect what we do on the moon if we can't grab their attention first. Destroying the whole Celestial Mechanics fleet while they're docked at the Oxygen Ocean is going to get some attention. Even if I only destroy them a little bit, it'll be pretty amazing, so it's a job that's impossible to mess up.
Oxygen Ocean sounds like a Sonic the Hedgehog level.
Oxygen Ocean sounds like a post-metal track.
It also does that, yeah.
If you keep worrying, what else am I supposed to think except I must seem that incompetent to you?
I care, okay?
I'm not mad, Mars. But let me lean on you while I do this. Instead of blocking my way.
Aww, we're leaning.
So, also, I like that in every scene so far in every day, Mars appears to have a fresh nose bandage. I choose to believe once a day, every day, Mars picks a fight and gets decked in the nose. Oh, 9:30 a.m. on the dot. Time to get punched.
Time to get punched. Nope, this time we're going straight loyal. I'm really curious by some of these other options because they appear to like favor more of the personal growth.
Yes.
But
also the other factions.
And we'll get into that in the next ones, right? We want to try a couple different ways of playing this. The balance shifts because Pluto tugs and Saturn tugs harder. Deep, so deep, crushing and dark, but the string of pearls has organs that see everything. Smoky and cold, she slips down in a stream of evaporation, just shy of being the spark that blows it all up. Whatever's down there, but don't play dumb because Saturn knows exactly who and what's down there, is playing coy. Oh, interesting. Do you have the same idea, Pluto? Breaking... Cutting off the comms? Well, now I don't have to cut the comm line myself. Saturn doesn't have to play by anyone's rules, even and especially the rules of the universe. It's made of a last-minute miracle. It loves it best when it's just waiting on the edge between one possibility and another, tempting fate and not caring where it lands. Pluto doesn't cross the rules. She's the universe itself, a perfect target for Saturn, and the wall she crashes against. She's not playing coy. She's looking for someone to crash against her. From the depths, Crunmacula tugs, but playfully. String of Pearls takes the invitation and yanks back, not so playfully at all.
Tugging intensifies.
Stop miming the jack-off motion.
Hey, Boo, do you want to play?
Can I just say Boo is a very underrated way to address someone? I sure do. But come up and play my game. That's right. We're playing Smash 64, baby. No wave dashing here.
Oh, sure, if you can make me. However, I've got Settlers of Catan down here, so consider it.
Crunmacula is the plunge into fascination, a fall omnidirectional into the end of the universe. Crunmacula can drown the ocean in her gravity, but String of Pearls has the greatest trick. The String of Pearls cheats distance. She can't ignore it, but she can interpret it differently. So f of x equals an anxious avoidant, infinitely approaching and never reaching asymptote. Or maybe f of x can be a curve accelerating rapidly into infinity. Math isn't hard for Saturn, just the results. Mercury would be screaming if the comms were still on, because this is a big risk, the most dangerous and guaranteed way to get the Celestial Mechanics fleet wrecked if she isn't careful. And even if she is. Closing distance is mutual. Pulling Pluto out of the depths of the Oxygen Ocean is not something she's doing for them. If Saturn wants to change the rules, then Pluto will let her. She'll be the one to set the variable, no matter what Saturn sets f of x to. Pluto sets the force. She can go slack if she wants to. Saturn's equation is something like f of x equals the closer you approach, the further I move away. A hard equation to solve. Are you up to it? Along the equations of gravity, Saturn fires hooks. They wouldn't have hit without the equation, but it was the moment of Pluto's curiosity that they bet on. That is enough. The ocean plunges, the ships rock.
These ships fucking rock.
Emergency retraction, max output.
Haha, okay. I was trying not to cause so much trouble. I just wanted to delay you for a little while. But if you really insist, I'll come make all the trouble you want.
That's funny, considering how hard you've been wrecking the Celestial Mechanics fleet. I'd almost think you weren't going easy at all.
Saturn is pulling hard, but it's like trying to pull a star out of a black hole. But something about the way Pluto reacts makes Saturn think it might still be possible. You're working hard. I was just sent to make sure you all didn't have an easy time.
I've never worked hard. Ever.
Ha, you sound like kind of a liar. You sure you're not still a bit good?
Say it to my face.
Okay, if you really, really insist, I can get carried away too. Saturn's capture cables go slack, and she shoots up and out of the ocean, pulled by the panicking surface crew. The equation input has changed. The number Pluto has changed it to gives Saturn a thrill. As the oxygen tidal wave starts building, the ocean trembles, the fleet sees and nearly capsize, but Saturn breaks out of the liquid and into the sky, and Pluto is pulled up and out and free. The Krun macula is more frightening and powerful than Saturn remembered, but she can't be scared now. Well, maybe she can, just a little. But this is what she wanted, too. A beautiful solution to her equation. It's hard to know someone if you haven't fought them. That's something she's known for a long time. The pain of wondering if you just aren't good enough to stand next to someone. She'd prefer to know where she stands. For Pluto, who was made to be so overwhelming that in her presence no other option but peace can exist, she doesn't have anything to prove to herself. Win or lose, she's open when others are honest. Between ship selves, all conflict must be honest. It's the only way to make contact. That's the moment she's waiting for, to give life to all the feelings unleashed when she'd decided she'd let herself have them. The Celestial Mechanics fleet can't do anything but wait and think about how this is probably all Saturn's fault. You're strange, Saturn. I don't know what to think. You think you can't win, but you're trying anyway. What do you want to make happen? So sure and unsure of yourself.
Just come on already. We can't all be gravitational beauties.
Tides come from people, and people are people. People are people.
Question. Did Saturn just call Pluto thick?
Yes, Pluto is thick.
All right.
And also referencing Depeche Mode. I choose to believe.
Oh, okay.
Whether they get there being taught or being made.
Keep the pity out of your voice or I won't be having fun anymore.
I don't pity you. I was very lucky. There's no reason why I got to be so lucky. But I'm selfish too. I didn't deserve it, but I'll never feel guilty about it. I had too much at stake to feel guilty when I got everything I wanted.
I know exactly how that feels. Unlike you, though, they took it away again when they were done with me.
Oh? It looks like they weren't able to for very long, though. You won't get anywhere with girls if you insist on believing you had it the worst. Every girl has it the worst.
You know, I liked it better when I was dragging you.
Are you ready to try again? Teach me a lesson, or get over yourself. And let's see what's under that envy. Saturn's got a good idea. Even as the Krun macula tosses the fleet apart with tidal forces, the string of pearls closes in. She can be as close as touch, yet always out of reach. This time she sets f of x to as close as can be. Of course that's in the crush of her gravity well, but that's fine, because Saturn has dedicated her life to being a fucked up loser.
Hey, relatable. Thought for sure I could make you squirm, but you're so perfect you're even better at accepting that you're not perfect than me. But that's not to say I'll let up for a moment, no matter how bad at this I am.
Saturn, that's depression logic. Love yourself more. I love that. It's a great thing about you. You don't know how strong your belief is. You know you're going to lose, but fight anyway. Believe you're going to win even still.
I always win, even when I lose. I would never go in if I didn't know that.
Electrotoxic waves sting the Krun macula as she embraces the string of pearls. It's like making out with a battery. It's uncomfortably like getting electrocuted, but comfortably like making out.
Woo!
How long can you keep that up? How long can you last if you're crushed like this?
What? Isn't this a great idea? Being crushed like a pancake under you is great.
Oh, Saturn.
Saturn knows what she like.
You're really incorrigible. I love it. But I can last longer than you can.
Maybe, but is it worth it? You're not able to waste time like I can.
I'll make it way worse for you.
But I can keep this up. I've got nothing to lose.
That's so selfish and ridiculous. It's the worst for everyone. I love it. It's really kind of outrageous. I can't believe it. Okay, you win, even though your side objectively loses. What do you want?
Saturn's weapons slow and fizzle, but Pluto doesn't quite let go. Just hearing I won is all I want.
You're really right about yourself. You're totally the worst. I wish I could be just like that.
Next time we meet, I'll show you.